different agents, including myself, that chose eXp separately, individually of one another. We all have separate organizations, and we're coming together for one event today to tell you all why we chose eXp. I think we're 4 pretty different personality types, and I think that we all saw something different at different times and decided to make the jump independently. So what I'd like to do is I would like to bring everyone on one at a time. We're going to bring up Romeo, who's a Marine Corps veteran. We're going to bring up Tyson Robinson, who has been practicing real estate in Temecula for a long time. If you don't know who Tyson Robinson is, you've been living under a rock. And then another Marine Corps veteran in Joe Caspole. So we're going to do it one at a time, and then I will tell you why I chose eXp. So first person that we're going to bring on, Romeo. All right. Romeo Guerra. What's up, my brother?
What's going on?
First off, congratulations on your retirement from the Marine Corps. The frame there.
Yeah, let me get a little closer here.
Let's snuggle up. Okay. So when did you decide to make the switch to eXp?
This is sometime last year. I want to say September, October frame.
September, October. And at this time, Romeo was still active duty Marine Corps, but he's definitely no slouch in real estate. He was wholesaling. He was licensed and practicing before he made that departure. And he also runs this program called Vets to Reps, which helps veterans or active duty military turn into real estate professionals, which is a great program. So what made you decide to make that switch to eXp?
All right. So just a little background. So it doesn't seem like I just started real estate.
Sure.
So I've been in real estate on and off since 2011. Obviously, everywhere the Marine Corps sent me, I decided to continue to do real estate. So on and off since 2011 here in California. Moved from California around the world. Ended up in Washington State. Got my license in Washington State.
Right on.
So I've interviewed a few brokerages throughout my real estate career. So in Washington, I started Elite Home Buying Services, right? More real estate stuff. And as you mentioned, Vets to Reps. So full circle, I ended up back in California with my California license. I still have Washington, but so Vets to Reps to me, right? It's a national nonprofit where I take transitioning military members, and if they're interested in career in real estate, I take them from point A all the way to licensing.
Yes.
And so for me, I needed a platform that wasn't like a local, brokerage. I needed something on a national level.
Sure.
And so I started to look at things that if somebody, if a Marine or a sailor wanted to get out and sell houses in Idaho, how would they still be attached to me?
Yes.
So if I was stuck with a California brokerage, it just didn't make sense.
And that's one of those things that with this being a national company and not a franchise with a bunch of individual franchises, it really makes it so that you could continue to mentor people and benefit from it nationally, internationally now.
Right. And so I heard about the model. I looked it up. I got on the eXp world, which I thought was crazy. And so it was just very user friendly. The workplaces, the Facebook, is that what they call it?
Facebook workplace.
The workplace. The ability to have that community and just like send a message like you would on Facebook and get a ton of feedback.
Yes.
Immediate feedback just made it that much, more user friendly for me. So,
and one of the things that I've been shocked about with Workplace is how many referrals has been going out.
Yeah. So it's basically a bunch of apps you can download. So Southern California has a group. California has a group. Riverside County has a group. So you can pick whatever groups you want to be a part of. And so to me, it was just, they even have like the water cooler chat where you just go in there and, just talk real estate period and brainstorm on ideas.
It's kind of a cool thing because you don't ever even have to go into the world. If you're one of those people who are like, oh, I don't need the cloud. I don't ever need the cloud. I've never been in the cloud. And so I love Workplace though. It's very, very beneficial to me in my business.
Yeah, me as well. And so for me, that was, I don't need an office. That's just not me. So, I mean, everybody meets at Starbucks or there.
Sure.
So for me, the Workplace, the tools that come with it, is what kind of sold me on it.
Okay.
So overall, you can't beat the community, right? And so the culture itself, the people you come across who are in eXp, very like-minded and all shooting for the same goal, which I didn't feel like a selfish, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain. You understand what I'm saying?
Brother, I mean, like one of the things is it doesn't feel like it just serves the people at the top. or it just serves the people at the bottom. And so you're constantly serving other people in spite of yourself and in spite of your family. And then they can only grow so much with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I had a 28-person team. A lot of them went on to do other things. And I'm happy for them and I'm excited for them. But I would have loved for this model to have been around 3 or 4 years ago and have them all have ownership in this platform. And then if they wanted to start their own teams, I wouldn't have been cut out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not a selfish thing at all. We're sharing our food, my brother.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. So that's pretty much why I chose eXp, national level, all the online tools, very user-friendly. Anytime I've had any issues, customer service is outstanding. Like you literally just take your little Bitmoji, go in the world and click on a building and you get instant feedback. So can't beat that, I think.
You can't. And for a guy who's like a systems guy like you are, that loves the tech and loves to create all these different things, because once you create the systems, you don't have to do it again. And so that's where your business has always thrived and mine has always been a little bit more chaotic. But anything else that you want to tell people about eXp?
I would just say, don't listen to the, any kind of negative talk that's out there. Like, do your own research. Like we all did. Do your own research. There's plenty of great videos out there. Have someone invite you into eXp world. It's all they do is add your name, email, and you go in there and you look at it for yourself and see if that's something that you're interested in.
Right on. And when you get that invite link, you can actually log on to eXp World. Yep. You could walk around and check everything out, and it's a great tour. So if you want to do that, feel free to reach out to Romeo and get your invite, or Tyson, or Joe, or myself, and we'll make sure that you get a chance to go into eXp World and take a look around.
Yep.
Cool. All right, brother. Semper.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Romeo Guerra. If you want to reach out to him, he's a friend of mine on Facebook. And Romeo, if you want to share this to your Facebook page so that people know how to contact you as well, and then comment in the section below that lets people know how they can reach out to you directly. Next, I'm really excited to bring this guy on. We have played basketball together a few times at 6:30 in the morning inside of his church, and he's a great guy. He's just one of those good-spirited dudes. Nobody has anything negative to say about Tyson Robinson, unlike David Serpa. So, Tyson, I appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Thank you.
Okay, so Tyson Robinson. So for those of you that don't know, maybe you're not in the Temecula Valley, Tyson is consistently probably in the top 10 realtors out of 4,500. But what he does extraordinarily well is he closes a lot of transactions efficiently with a smaller team, and everyone's doing pretty well. It's not like my team where, you have 28 people and at any given time, 6 or 7 of them are producing. You've got your systems really under control.
For sure, yeah.
Tell me why you decided to make the switch to eXp, because you were an independent broker.
Right, exactly. So I went to a meeting which had, and it was just a random, I love going to the mastermind panels and top producer panels. Mm-hmm. And so I went to one where a few of the San Diego agents, Daniel Beer, Kurt Wanabo, Mary Maloney, shoot, I'm probably forgetting somebody. But
Daniel Beer, Kyle Whistle, Mary Maloney, those were
right.
Yeah.
So there were a number of, and it was purely, I went there because it was a top producer panel. I love hearing what other agents are doing that make them successful. I feel like that's where I get the most value, most nuggets, is when I'm going to those panels. And at the end, of course, they mention, hey, by the way, we're with eXp.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, I'm like, why did all these huge hitters decide to go to eXp?
Yes.
And a couple of them were independent brokers like myself, 100%. So it's like, there had to be something.
Yes.
And so, of course, I stayed afterwards and listened to see why in the world they did it. And for me, the thing that really stood out the most is one was what you guys already talked about, culture.
Yes.
The culture of just sharing, everyone wanting to grow, everyone wanting to help each other. Yep. And I don't think you really find that in a lot of different brokerages.
No.
Where it's a little bit more cutthroat. But within eXp, I noticed that everyone wants everyone to go to the next level.
Yes.
And I love that because that's kind of just goes with who I am. Like, I want to help other people. I want them to succeed. I want them to get to the next level.
Sure.
So it just fit really good within who I am.
Yes.
But then the other part that I loved is long term. I'm always thinking 1 year, 3 years, 5 years down the line. So the other part was like, okay, within eXp, they have it set up to where you can benefit for years to come, right?
Yes.
To where 10 years from now, I could potentially have a downline of a lot of agents and still make money and kind of take my foot off the pedal and not work so hard. So of course,
which is a nice benefit.
Right. So those were the two big ones that really got me, was the fact that I just kind of, I asked myself, okay, what in 5 years from now, I think most agents, if you took 100 agents in a room, how many are ready to retire?
Sure. None. I haven't. Other than this guy right here, who is my mentor. He retired from real estate, so he's no longer selling real estate. He has a partner that's taken over for him, but his rev share is doing good enough for him to where it's replaced his income, and now he's just doing what he wants to do.
That's crazy.
Which is cool.
I love it. Yeah.
But that's not everybody, of course. So gradually over the course of time, like what you're saying, 5 years, getting a few agents, it's agent ownership, which is a totally different thing than anyone else is doing. Yes, we have to give a nod to the Godfather with revenue share or profit share, and what that became with revenue, because nobody would be talking about sharing anything if it wasn't for Gary Keller talking about sharing profit.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's a really nice thing. That's an added bonus. And so tell us what you think that might do for you and your agents over time.
For me, and I'm not a big recruiter, so
and I love that. It's great. We're sitting here together, and that's one of the things that we talked about here in the hallway. We're like, it's a kind of an anxiety-inducing thing.
Yeah, totally. So I just think even if just me doing what I always do, just closing transactions, I feel like people will see the value and maybe approach me if they're interested, right?
Sure.
They'll hear a little bit, here or there about eXp. It'll pique their interest, and they'll reach out to me and want to know more. At that point, obviously, I share. But I just think, like, even if it's only, if you think about it, if I'm going to be doing real estate another 10 years, let's say.
Yeah, which we're both young guys. We could. That's understandable. We could do 10 years.
But yeah, 10 years. You think even if it's just 5 agents a year, which is like, that's like if you could just stumble across 5 people a year.
Yeah.
Obviously 5 times 10, that's 50 plus whatever people they bring in. That could be hundreds potentially, right?
That's right. So over time, it really adds up.
Right. Over time, it will add up to the point where you have a good, strong revenue share. There's some agents out there that are just killer at recruiting.
Like your sponsors and my sponsors. Totally. Like everybody that brought you in, everybody that brought me in, they're like, selling around the freaking Bahamas and whatnot, just like flashing pictures of their revenue share check. We're not there yet.
Yeah, right,
and
exactly. And that's just not me, but yeah.
I may not ever need to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to freaking make all this. I mean, like, the revenue share checks that I'm seeing are insane, and we can't put a number to it just because it's illegal. But like, it's wild seeing the kind of money that people are making because they brought on 18, 20 people to their front line. And then what that does over time to an organization. David Golden, who's my sponsor, is doing extraordinarily well for himself. Rosie Rodriguez is now well over 300 agents, and she's been over 400 agents in 14 months.
Wow, that's nuts.
And then Daniel Beer and Kyle Whistle.
I don't even know.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. It's a lot of value.
Oh, huge.
So a broker deciding to go from, because you're keeping 100% of your money. And there's a lot of people that I've talked to who are broker owners, and they're like, why would I sign up and give people 20% of everything that I make, even with the $16,000 cap?
Right. Yeah. So basically for me, of course, I'm putting more money into it up until the cap. But the way I see it is, even if I'm putting a little bit more up front, in the long run, it's going to pay me back tenfold. That's the way I see it. So I'm thinking, again, long-term.
Ownership.
I could give up 16 grand a year. But of course, there's other perks along the way of stock options and all those other things to where essentially I'm going to get that 16,000 back.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer for me.
It's funny to me watching these agents that, like, I only give my broker $500 for the entire year, and I never have to worry about anything. I'm like, yeah, but you have no ownership, and you're preaching ownership to everybody. You're not preaching to people, go out and rent a house, and yet that's what we're doing in our businesses. It's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate you, my brother. Anything else to tell people?
I think that's it.
Okay, reach out to Tyson Robinson. Great guy, and he will give you the the skinny and the lowdown and everything in between, and let you know why he chose eXp. It is complicated, but take a moment to wrap your head around it.
Thanks.
Tyson, thank you, my brother.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we have one more person that we're going to hear from, and then it's going to be just me telling you why I chose eXp, and that is our broker here in the office that we're working to establish as the new branch for eXp called the Clubhouse. Marine Corps veteran, Joe Caspole.
What's up, bro?
What's up, my brother? I'm really excited about sitting down here with you, handsome. Okay, so you and I, we talked about working together 2.5, 3 years ago or something like that, and it didn't end up coming to fruition. But here we are now. We're working together. Anyone that I recruit doesn't benefit you financially. Anyone that you recruit doesn't benefit me financially. But we're getting an opportunity to work together. Why? Because you were in a transition where you could have done just about anything.
Yep.
Why decide to become an eXp agent owner?
Well, just like Tyson, I was a broker owner of a local brokerage here in Temecula. And the office that we're sitting in right now, everybody knows that brokers are broke.
Yep.
And between the partners and I, this office, as it was about $23,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Between our full-time employees, our systems, our paid leads, just a ton of money going out.
Yep.
And not a lot of money coming back in.
That's right. And then you end up subsidizing that.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
We subsidized it with deals that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in all essence, I paid a lot of money in 2018 to be a broker owner.
That's right.
As did all the partners.
That's a great way to put it.
As did all the partners.
Yeah.
So when we decided to, disband and kind of all go our own directions, the guy in the office, we sat down and started crunching numbers, and we was going to open our own revamped, revitalized, different style brokerage, another brick and mortar. And we started doing the numbers, and we was already at $13,000 after we cut all the fat, after we only had the necessary things that we truly needed to operate a brokerage.
That's right.
We was already at $13,000. We hadn't even opened the doors
That's
yet.
insane.
Yeah.
I was spending $28,000 a month with a team, and it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And I'm making over $600,000 a year, but I had nothing to really show for it.
Right. True. And just like Tyson said, about that same time, it was November of last year when we were getting ready to do this, and a couple of real big power hitters made a move.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to Paul, and I was like, why did Mike Bjorkman just sell his HomeSmart franchises and join eXp as a solo agent?
That's right.
Why did Jesse Zagorski make the jump?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Brent Conley make the jump? All these folks are multi-million-dollar a year GCI folks.
And they're leaving their massive brokerages where they own multiple brokerages, and they're taking the same opportunity that you're given.
Yep.
The same exact one.
Mm-hmm. So that was number one, was investigate why that they were doing this.
Yep.
So we reached out, and it took me 2 weeks of interviewing these different folks and finding out, exactly how they did that, how they compressed their business model, how they brought it over, and then what's the end game.
Yeah.
And once I found out what the end game was, I was like, man, this makes sense, but I have 1,000 questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote out 1,000 questions, not literally, but quite a few questions.
Yeah.
And they all got answered. And if they didn't know the answer, then we just popped into the world and we got it straight from the source.
That's right. So you just went and you had questions, and then you got answers to those questions, instead of being like one of those. I talk to a lot of people like, oh, I don't know anything about eXp, but I don't want to know anything about eXp. I know enough. It's not for me. And then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, they're like, tell me about eXp. What's going on?
Yeah, well, my sponsor in particular, he bucked the system for 7 months. And he was like, get that Amway crap out of my face. I don't want anything to do with it. But he never sat down and learned about it.
That's right.
Because a lot of people are focused on the fact that we have revenue share. It just so happens that the largest brokerage in the nation has profit share. And we just stole their idea and made it great.
Yep. Because we made it so that you couldn't have the same people that are CPAs that make it look like you don't have a profit, that are, could make it look like somebody who makes $1 million a year makes nothing. And then you have the same people running the books for a brokerage. It's no wonder why there wasn't profit to be shared. And the thing is there's a lot of really great owners at KW that are sharing profit, but that is not always the rule.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Too many people focus on the fact that, eXp is a revenue share company. Not a lot of people are focused on the fact that it is just a great brokerage.
That's right.
All the systems and the back end, like Tyson was talking about, between, the world, enterprise, workplace, all those systems, new agent mentoring and onboarding, these new agents come on, they get assigned a mentor, somebody that's been, certified through eXp.
Mm-hmm.
They have the system down pat. They know how to bring a new agent on and get them productive stat.
What's so interesting about this is I have a lot of people saying, oh, eXp is great for the established agent, not for the new agent. And what's really interesting is the agents that are coming here and they're training are opening escrows today. Like, no joke. Like my sister, I taught her the 3 breakdowns of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
She implemented, met somebody at an open house, showed them a house the same day, was on the phone with Lonnie Pike last night at 11 p.m., and she's opening escrow today. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where if you implement the systems, they work, but you got to work for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing's free.
No one's ever became an owner of a Fortune 500 company by not recruiting.
Right. Yep. True statement.
Yeah.
So really, to double back and talk a little bit about why I made the switch. One,
sure.
Besides the overhead, like I just saved a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
I have no broker liability because, open our own brokerage. And Mike Bjorkman could tell you this. Like he was in, 8 lawsuits at any given time because of his one of his 350 agents are doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
Sure.
And it's tying up his time, his resources, his money.
You end up wiping a lot of butts as a broker.
Yeah.
You end up wiping a lot of butts, and I just kind of decided I was done wiping butts. I don't want to wipe any butts.
Yeah.
I want to teach people how to fish, and I don't want to lead horses to water and hope that they might take a drink. It's one of those things where you give people value. They'll either see it or they won't. And when people are so concentrating on the floor, well, how low is the floor? How low is the floor? I'm like, take a look at the ceiling. You're concentrating on the wrong thing.
Yeah. True statement. Yep.
So what's been the experience? You said that the tech has actually decreased your overhead. You're actually saving more money monthly, and it's putting you in a situation to where you have ownership in this over the long term.
Well, I went from, even if we started this model and we was at $13,000 a month, I went from $13,000 a month to $85 a month.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's easy. This is self-sustaining. This takes care of itself. So I don't really count this as my baby.
Mm-hmm.
The office it pays for itself.
Yeah.
Easy day.
Yeah.
And one of the other big things too, it's, if you want to soar with the Eagles, you can't run with the turkeys.
That's right.
And there's so many, all these big heavy hitters making a switch over.
Mm-hmm.
They're now my coaches.
That's right.
I have on speed dial all these guys that are just,
invested
consistent.
in your success.
Yeah. They want to see me succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I have speed dial. I got a question. Each guy in my upline has a specialty.
Mm-hmm.
I got teams, I got brokerages, I got escrows, I got property management. Whatever flavor of the day it is for me, I have somebody. I have a source, somebody that was extremely successful in their business.
That's right.
That I can go to draw that wisdom and experience from.
You can't be the whole puzzle. You can't be all answers to all people, but you can be in a situation to where you can be part of a puzzle. And so it's really great to surround yourself with people that are better than you in the way in which you lack. And so you're, like you and Romeo and all these different people, it's like, and for just being a nerd and being on the autism, it's like being in the Star Trek, being in Star Trek and everybody having their own specialty and everybody fitting in to part of a team because we can all benefit nationally together. It's not just about the Temecula Valley. It's so much bigger than this. And that's what I keep trying to let people know. And you understand it. And it's been nice seeing people think nationally and then think about a ceiling instead of a floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else for me, my brother?
That's it on my notes. Well, you know what? I have an exit strategy.
Okay.
And we've talked about this. You guys heard everybody talk about the rev share and, the ability to obtain stock. I can't think of another brokerage or another avenue that you can go to in this industry where you can create that passive income to eventually, like Tyson said, take your foot off the gas a little bit and step back out of the business.
That's right.
And our mentors that have been in this for 14 months, Rosie just hit 400 agents in her downline.
Yep.
She has every right to take her foot off the pedal right now.
That's right.
Because I don't know if anybody knows what that equates to, but it's a lot in eXp.
And she's still working.
And she owns a lending company.
Yep.
She is just crushing it as an
An
agent.
escrow company.
Yep.
Well, right on, my brother. Joe,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Kate, are you here? Yeah. Do you want to come on here with me?
Sure.
Because I can't really talk about how I chose eXp without involving my wife in this decision because she really she was very instrumental in this. I heard about eXp twice before I heard about it from Golden, and it was from Zach Bach before we even switched over to KW, and it was from my wife. And so you want to come on over here? So Kate, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're so
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Good morning.
You have such a masculine handshake.
Thanks.
Goodness gracious.
Like a strong handshake.
It's very, very professional. Okay, so so we ended up choosing eXp for a completely different reason than a lot of people might think.
Mhm.
A lot of people think that it was like we were like decided to become recruiters.
Oh,
Well,
no.
What did we end up deciding to do? Why did we choose eXp?
Why do we choose eXp?
Mhm.
It gives us the flexibility to be with our family, and it's very affordable,
Mhm.
and it gives us the opportunity to exit like sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
or stay in the business and still have the family life that we want to have
Mhm.
without all the stress.
Which is important.
Mhm.
You know, we've got 4 kids between the two of us. We have another one on the way, and I don't want to be a slave to this business. You don't want to be a slave to this business,
No.
but it's nice to have that sort of ownership.
Mhm.
So when we came over to eXp, it wasn't to recruit. It wasn't for any other reason than we decided we wanted to be just a team with the two of us in our
Yeah.
TC. We didn't really want to work with anyone. We didn't want to start a big team. We just wanted to work together,
Mhm.
and it really brought our bottom line down.
So much. I couldn't believe it. It's crazy how much more affordable it is to do it this way. We went from such a massive overhead to, I mean, we're paying $85 a month.
And you're a tech
That's it.
person, and you're a systems person.
Mhm.
You were the 7th person added to the homes team, and you helped 100% of those people make over $100,000, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
You're organized in all the ways that I am not. Everyone's like, how do you get away with not checking your email or not returning phone calls? And it's because my wife is nice to people.
Well, the back end is amazing.
Yeah.
KB Core is awesome. Sky Slope's great.
Sky Slope is great.
Enterprise is awesome. I just love how easily I can hop in there, get around, do everything that I need to do. Never have to leave the house if I don't want to.
Yep.
We've
We've got kids running around everywhere. She's in the cloud talking to people.
Yeah.
The kids are allowed to be really chaotic in the background because in the cloud, there's a lot of people that have kids in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's just a bunch of high D driving personalities. They're like, we're here to recruit everyone.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of moms in the cloud working, and there's a lot of dads in the cloud working
Yeah.
because we're not an office-minded generation.
No.
Not always. I mean, we have this great office, but we're not a generation that's like, we get done reading the Sunday paper looking for new listings and then drive down to the local real estate office to find ourselves a real estate professional.
That's right.
That's not the world.
No, it's not. And it's I've never been so excited to be in real estate, honestly.
Mhm.
Like this last year, everybody's like, well, you've always, Keller Williams, you've been with Keller Williams and you've done this and you've done that.
In
And I'm
Utah
like, yeah.
and in California.
Yeah. Up until now, I've never seen another model that has made anywhere near this much sense. And I'm so happy. I've never been so excited about real estate.
And then what ended up happening was we got a chance to we met with Darren Campbell, and we were just going to talk to him about coaching and helping him sell his coaching program. And then when you have the number 2 Remax agent in the world want to come over and recruit, you start understanding revenue share, which is a game changer. And so, there's 3 different things that people have always talk about. They say, oh, you want to be a broker, but brokers are broke. You can't sell a brokerage. You can't grow out a brokerage and sell it. We don't live in that world anymore. Brokers are making their money off of escrow, and they're making their money off of lending. The second thing that people talk about is, oh, well, I'm going to start a 7th level team, and then I'm going to sell it. Well, Gary Keller's not even 7th level at KW anymore. He had to go 6th level in his own organization in order to keep that thing going. So the thing is, can you ever really completely leave a career in real estate where you are the only owner? And then the third thing is a book of business. People say, well, I'll grow out my book of business, and then when I have such a massive book of business, someone will want to buy it from me. It's like somebody could do better with Facebook marketing and generating leads that way. They don't need your book of business. So what is the exit strategy? And the exit strategy is recruit, talk to people a little bit. And there's this really cool thing that just happened that we're getting ready to make a video about. Congratulations with the new precious baby.
Oh, thank you.
But the thing that My brain just
Were
stopped.
we going to talk about the new announcement for today?
Oh yeah.
For the-
So really quick, briefly,
I'm
and this is
excited about
another
this.
reason why we're really excited about eXp, because we're married. We've got one cap.
Yeah. Well, today, starting today, they had done it. They took it away for a little while. They restructured it. Starting today, if you are married and you join eXp, you have one registration fee, the $149 one-time deal for the both of you.
Mhm.
You operate as a team. You have a partnership agreement. You have one cap, one $16,000 cap between the two of you. 1 year, you only pay the $85 tech fee for one of you. Not
Which is awesome.
for an entire year.
And then you don't have the weird conversations about like, should I sign up under Kate or should I sign up under David?
That's the best part is,
Yeah.
well, right now, up until today, it was, we would close a deal and I'd get the stock, David would get the rev share. So we were still benefiting on both ends, but now everything is all together.
In one place.
We both benefit from the stock. We both are benefiting from the rev share. So
Yep.
it's great. I'm so excited about that.
It's been very nice. Very happy at eXp.
Mm-hmm.
Life has been good. So if you guys are interested in eXp and you're considering making a switch and you want to reach out to Joe Caspole, Tyson Robinson, Romeo Guerra, Katie Serpa, or myself, we would be happy to talk to you about the benefits of eXp. The worst thing that you could do is keep your head in the mud and pretend like it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's people that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that sit back and wonder, what the heck just happened? And there's going to be a lot of people that sit back and in a few years from now, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I join eXp when I had the chance?
Yeah.
Because it's going to go away. We're not going to let anyone in 2 years. I'm kidding. All right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Well, so if you guys are just not tuning into this video, feel free to share it out. Give it a like. Tag your friends that are considering, eXp in the post, and I won't recruit them from you or anything like that. We just have to let people know that this company exists because Joe, Tyson, Romeo, myself, all different organizations. I don't care who you join under. I just want you to have an opportunity at agent ownership. No one washes a rental car. No one takes care of a rental car. Here we all own this together, which is great. So when he wins, I win. The company does better and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook and share this broadcast out to anyone that is considering making the switch. Thank you for watching.